April 28, 1974, Alcobendas. In this quiet town north of Madrid, spring rain was gently drizzling. As the familiar scent of disinfectant filled the hospital corridors, Eduardo Cruz paced nervously from one end of the hallway to the other. Eduardo, who worked as an electrician, had been anticipating this moment for days. He kept rubbing his hands together, pulling out the cigarette pack from his pocket and putting it back, trying to suppress his urge to smoke. At 2:47 p.m., the door opened. "Señor Cruz, you have a daughter," shouted the midwife with a broad smile on her face. Eduardo's eyes filled with tears, his knees trembling. This was their first child. In his 26 years of life, he had never experienced such intense emotion. When he entered the room, his wife Encarna was smiling tiredly but happily. Her hair was disheveled, her face pale, but there was such a light in her eyes. The tiny baby in her arms was looking around with big dark brown eyes, as if ready to explore the world. The baby wasn't crying. She was just curiously examining her surroundings, as if trying to imprint every detail in her memory. "So beautiful," whispered Eduardo as he touched his daughter for the first time. When the baby's hand grasped her father's finger, he was filled with a love he had never known before. "What shall we name her?" "Penelope," said Encarna. "In Greek it means faithful. This girl will remain faithful to her dreams no matter what." Eduardo didn't yet know that the baby in his arms would one day win the world's most prestigious awards and become a star in the heart of Hollywood. At that moment he only felt the tight grip of those small, delicate fingers and the curiosity in those big eyes. Her first years passed like those of any ordinary Spanish baby. But when Penelope turned 3, differences began to emerge. When neighbor women told her stories, she wasn't just listening, she seemed to enter the story. Her eyes would sparkle, her facial expressions would change according to the characters. "This child imagines too much," her grandmother would say worriedly. When Penelope was just 4 years old, she would find herself dancing in front of the mirror in their small living room. Every afternoon, to the accompaniment of Spanish folk music from the radio, she would perform choreography created entirely in her own imagination. Sometimes she was a princess, sometimes a gypsy girl, sometimes a magical fairy. When her mother first saw her like this, she put down her teacup in the kitchen and watched from the doorway. There was a natural grace in her daughter's movements, and changing expressions in her eyes as if different souls lived within her. Even at that young age, Penelope transformed into someone else when she danced. "This girl is different," Encarna murmured to herself, "very, very different." As Penelope grew, this difference became even more pronounced. When she started elementary school, her teachers immediately noticed her unusual creativity. In composition assignments, while other children wrote "How My Vacation Went," Penelope created long stories, characters, dialogues, and she even made different voices when reading aloud. Señora Martinez, the Spanish teacher, called Encarna one day and said, "Your daughter has a very special talent. She always gets the leading role in school plays, but she doesn't just memorize and recite, she seems to actually become that character." At age 8, she played Dulcinea in the school's production of Don Quixote. Even during rehearsals, other children would stop what they were doing to watch her. Under the stage lights, even at that young age, she radiated natural charisma. On the night of the performance, Encarna, sitting among the audience, couldn't hold back her tears. Her daughter standing under the stage lights seemed to come from another world. At that moment she realized that her daughter's talent wasn't just a hobby, it was her nature. "Mom," Penelope had said on the way home that night, "I want to always feel like this, under the stage lights, with people watching me. It's like this is the real me." Encarna squeezed her daughter's hand. "Well, Misha, then we need to learn how to make you live this feeling." 1987, Madrid. 13-year-old Penelope, while waiting for customers in her mother's barbershop, constantly looked at photos of movie stars in magazines. The depth in Sofia Loren's eyes, Claudia Cardinella's elegance, Ava Gardner's mysterious gaze. How could these women look at the camera like that? Could the depth she saw in these women's eyes be something she could capture one day too? "En qué piensas, Misha? What are you thinking about, my daughter?" asked one of the customers one day. "One day I'll be like this too," said Penelope, pointing to Sofia Loren's photo. "I'll be a movie star." The customer laughed. "Ay, niña, you have beautiful dreams, but life isn't that easy." But Penelope was determined. Every evening she watched herself in the mirror, trying different expressions. Sad look, happy look, angry look, loving look. She was learning to control every muscle in her face. Encarna had noticed her daughter's passion. Their financial situation wasn't very good. Eduardo's electrician salary and Encarna's barbershop income barely sufficed, but she did everything she could for Penelope to start dance lessons. They saved money for weeks. She enrolled in the Academia de Danza Carmen Rosa dance school in central Madrid. On the first day going to school, she felt her heart beating rapidly. When she entered the building, the echoing sounds of music in the corridors, footsteps, teachers shouting "Más pasión," more passion. In flamenco classes, her teacher Carmen Roche was a stern but fair woman in her 50s. She discovered Penelope's potential in the first class, but also realized she wouldn't be an easy student. "Penelope," Carmen would often say in a stern voice, "dance isn't just about taking steps. You're focusing on learning techniques now, which is correct, but dance is the language of the heart. You're burying your emotions deeper now. Bring them out. Don't be afraid. Tell a story with every movement." Not understanding what she meant at first, Penelope gradually discovered over the months, when music played, she didn't just need to take steps, she needed to find the story within that music. A story could be told in every step, every hand movement, every glance. When music played, she seemed to transform into someone else. Sometimes she was a gypsy girl, sometimes a woman in love, sometimes a lost soul. 6 months later, she performed in the school's first show. Her family, friends, and other students' families were watching. When the music started, Penelope took the stage, and the magic began. A silence fell among the audience. This 14-year-old girl was moving like experienced dancers. During dance classes, acting lessons were also given in the same building. One day, after class in the hallway, she heard a group of students rehearsing the balcony scene from Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. She stopped and listened. The way the girl portrayed Juliet, the boy's Romeo. At that moment, she felt a strange flutter in her heart. Dance was beautiful, but this was different. It was as if she had found what she had been searching for all along. When she got home, she saw her mother preparing dinner in the kitchen. She walked up to her with determined steps. "Mom, I want to be an actress." Encarna put down the spoon in her hand and turned to her daughter. She recognized that look. Penelope always had the same look when she wanted something. Determined, passionate, unwavering. "Estás segura, Mika? Are you sure, my daughter? This is a very difficult path. A ruthless world." "I'm sure, Mom. I don't want to do anything else. Dance is beautiful, but acting is my heart." That night, Encarna told Eduardo at length about their daughter's decision. "What shall we do?" she asked. "We'll support her," said Eduardo. "This girl is special, I can see it too. If this is her path, we'll do everything we can." She had only a few dance photos, a small acting demo video, and a heart full of big dreams. Every day she ran to the post office, waiting for responses. The first agency response was short and merciless. "We currently have no roles suitable for your profile." The second, "We recommend you gain more experience." The third never responded at all. "Maybe it's too early," said Encarna, seeing her daughter's disappointment. But Penelope hadn't given up. Her first real casting experience was traumatic. At a casting for a small shampoo commercial, there were hundreds of beautiful girls. They had all come with professional photos, professional makeup, professional attire. Penelope's amateur photos looked very dull next to theirs. When her turn came, the casting director didn't even take time to look at her. Name: Penélope Cruz Sanchez. Experience: school plays, dance performances. The man looked up. "Any professional experience?" "No, sir, but..." Next, that night at home, she cried with her head buried in her pillow. Maybe everyone was right. Maybe a barber's daughter from Alcobendas couldn't find a place in this world. Maybe this was just a childish dream. But when she woke up in the morning, she looked in the mirror. Her eyes were red from crying, but determination was still there. She made a promise to herself. "I won't give up. This is my dream, and I will make it come true, no matter how hard it gets." She started working as an extra in television commercials. The pay was very little, 3,000 pesetas per day, but she was gaining experience. She was learning the set atmosphere, observing how cameras worked, how lights were set up, how directors worked. She learned something new every day. One day, a famous agency owner had told her, "Beauty alone isn't enough, Mika. To survive in this business, you need to be able to put your soul out there. When people watch you, they should be able to see the stories inside you. Can you do that?" She asked herself that question many times. Could she do it? Could she put her soul out there? In 1991, a turning point occurred. She saw a casting announcement for Bigas Luna's film Jamón. The director was looking for a young and natural girl to play in the film. "Experience not required, naturalness essential," was written in the ad. Penelope went to the casting with a small photo in her hand. This time she felt different. This was her time. On casting day, hundreds of girls had gathered in a small studio in central Madrid, all beautiful, all ambitious, all looking for a chance.
As Penelope sat in line, she felt her heart beating rapidly, but this time it was a different excitement. Not fear, but excitement. The girl sitting next to her said, "This is my 7th casting this month. Have you ever been in a film?" "No," said Penelope. "This is my first serious casting." "Wow, you're brave. If I were you, I wouldn't have come." But Penelope felt brave. For the first time she felt she was in the right place. When Bigas Luna first saw her, he paused. There was something different about the girl's energy. She wasn't overly dressed like the others, wasn't overly made up, natural, but at the same time with a very strong presence. "Why do you want to be an actress?" Luna asked, approaching her. Penelope turned to him, her eyes sparkling. "Because I don't want to do anything else with this much passion, senor. I want to tell stories. I want to touch people's hearts. When dancing, when acting, in those moments I become myself, the real me." Luna smiled. This girl was different. "I want you to do a scene for the character Sylvia. Reflect the emotions of the character when she meets her lover for the first time. Have you ever been in love?" "No, sir, but I can imagine what love would be like." "Okay, imagine. The man you love is in front of you. You're seeing him for the first time. Show me." Penelope closed her eyes. She took a deep breath. When she opened her eyes, she was no longer Penelope. She was Sylvia. She felt emotions she had never experienced before on her face, in her body, in her voice. For the first time in front of cameras, she truly lost herself. The excitement of love, the fear, the uncertainty, the hope, she experienced and reflected them all at once. Everyone in the studio, assistants, technicians, other candidates, stopped what they were doing to watch her. This 17-year-old girl was performing like professional actors. As soon as the scene ended, Luna turned to his assistant. "I found her. This is the girl we're looking for." "But she has no experience," said the assistant. "Experience can be taught, but what she has cannot be taught. This girl has a natural fire inside her." During filming, experienced actors Javier Bardem and Jordi Mola immediately recognized Penelope's potential. Javier had told her during a break, "You're going to go very far in this business, but never change. Keep this naturalness." Penelope couldn't believe these words. Javier Bardem, who was already very famous at the time, was saying such things to her, but there was a growing confidence inside her. For the first time in her life, she felt she was in the right place. Throughout the film shoot, Bigas Luna would constantly tell her, "You're not just an actress, you're a storyteller, and great storytellers are full of endless curiosity. Always be open to learning." When the film was released, the Spanish press spoke highly of this young actress. Natural talent, raw energy, promising, the new star of Spanish cinema. These praises boosted Penelope's confidence, while also loading her with a sense of responsibility. She had told her mother one day, "Mom, I feel like I'm at the beginning of something big." "Because you are, mija. You're still at the beginning of the road." 1998 was an intense learning period for Penelope. She took roles in films like Belle Époque, Open Your Eyes, Live Flesh. Each project was like a new school for her. She worked with different directors, discovered different character types, developed her technique. On the set of Open Your Eyes, Abre los Ojos, director Alejandro Amenábar had told her, "Penelope, you learn very quickly. But be careful. Technique is important, but soul is more important. Never let technique kill your soul." During this period, especially the girl of your dreams was important. In this film, for which she won the Goya Award, she had the chance to act across a wide range from comedy to drama. When she took the stage at the awards ceremony, she still couldn't believe it. "This award isn't just mine," she had said that night. "This is a success I share with everyone who believed in me." But the real big change happened in 1999, when she was called for the role of Sister Maria Rosa Sanz in Pedro Almodóvar's Todo sobre mi madre. She felt she was entering a new phase of her career. The first meeting with Almodóvar changed Penelope's life. When the director looked at her, she realized he saw something very special. "Penelope," Almodóvar had said, "you're not just an actress, you're a storyteller, and I love the stories you tell very much. But this is just the beginning. You're ready to do much bigger things. Our question is, how deep are you ready to go?" The character Maria Rosa Sanz was a completely new experience for Penelope. She had to reflect the complex emotional world of a pregnant nun. Faith, sin, motherhood, sacrifice. It was a very layered character. Almodóvar constantly told her, "Go deeper, don't be afraid, you're playing in the safe zone now." But great acting starts outside the safe zone. During filming, there was a scene that Penelope could never forget. Her character was experiencing the fear of losing her baby. Almodóvar had said, "Before shooting this scene, imagine that you're also a mother. What is that fear? Feel it." While shooting that scene, Penelope experienced motherhood feelings she had never lived. After the shoot, she cried for a long time. This was very intense, she told Almodóvar. This is real acting, said the director. You didn't just say the words, you lived that character's heart. When the film was shown at Cannes, international press discovered Penélope. Headlines like Spain's new star, young but deep talent, the future of world cinema, began to appear. On the first night of the festival, walking on the red carpet, she stood under the flashes of the world press. Is this real? She thought. That little girl from Alcobendas was now attracting the attention of international press at Cannes. Offer calls from Hollywood also began to come. Cameron Crowe wanted her for Vanilla Sky. This was the chance to break into America. 1. The first flight to Los Angeles was a big step for Penelope. Sitting on the plane, looking at the clouds outside, she asked herself, are you really doing this? When she landed at LAX airport, the surprise waiting for her was big. Paparazzi had noticed her and started taking photos. Penelope, Penelope, what do you think about America? They were shouting. The taxi driver had asked her, is this your first time while on the road? Yes, Penelope had said. This is the dream factory, honey. Are you also looking for a dream? I think so. Then you're in the right place. But be careful. This city takes as much as it gives. In her hotel room, when she saw the Hollywood sign from the window, tears came. How much she had worked to get here, how much she had dreamed. On the first day on the Vanilla Sky set, when she met Tom Cruise, she was very nervous. Cruise was very professional, very prepared, very American. She thought her English wasn't good enough. She was embarrassed about her accent. While shooting the first scene, she was so nervous that her sentences got mixed up. She couldn't get the timing right. Cut, said Cameron Crowe, one more time. After the third take, Cruise noticed. During the break, he approached Penelope. Hey, calm down. You're a great actress. The performances I saw in Madrid were magnificent. You'll do the same thing here. Just trust yourself. Language isn't a barrier. You speak a universal language, the language of acting. That night in her hotel room, she looked in the mirror. There were tears in her eyes, but no longer from fear, but from determination. I can do this, she said to herself. That little girl from Alcobendas is now working with Tom Cruise in Hollywood, and I'm going to stay here. 2001-2005 was a period of adaptation and growth for Penelope. Each film was a new experience, a new learning opportunity. While playing Martha Young opposite Johnny Depp in Blow, Depp had told her during a break, "You're not just a pretty face, you're a real actress. There are very few of us like that. Keep this talent." These praises gave her strength but also created pressure. She constantly felt she had to prove herself. Each new role was like an exam. While working with Nicolas Cage in Captain Corelli's Mandolin, she learned a different acting technique. Cage was very experienced in method acting. You can create each character in a way that suits your structure. This is your success. There are very few talented people like you on earth who can achieve this. Can you understand this? So don't stop. Keep going. You are a very special woman. Life only rewards those who keep going without stopping.